Good morning. I'm Greg Salisbury. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Office of the Philadelphia Sheriff. I'd like to welcome you to this press conference. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce Sheriff Rochelle Bilal. We appear to be having some technical difficulties. Just a moment. Okay, Sheriff, you're on.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. We waiting for anybody, Greg? No? We got everybody on? Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm Rochelle Bilal, Sheriff for the City and County of Philadelphia. We just wanted to have this press conference as a rollout to the sheriff sales going virtual. This transition is taking place because it's time to bring the Philadelphia Sheriff Office into the 21st century. A year without sheriff sale gave us the chance to think outside the box, and then we found the ideal partner after reviewing others to help us build a whole new box in bid for assets. We spent months researching our options, and then we found the ideal partner to help us build a whole new box based on the success of bid for assets they have had and the success they have brought to other counties in the Commonwealth. They became the logical choice to help us take the next step in efficiency, user-friendly system, and fiscal responsibility. Now, so that anybody don't put the boogeyman on us, nothing is changing for homeowners attorneys, advocates, and others than the venue. All policies and procedures that were in effect for in-person sales will continue with virtual sales. It should be known that these sales proceedings are the order of the courts. The duty of the Philadelphia Sheriff Office is to ensure court orders, including when to hold sheriff sales. It should also be known that no properties currently during this pandemic that is up for auction are occupied. The court is only ordering vacant properties to be sold or lots. The move to virtual will be permanent one based on cost savings alone. It's a no-brainer because by doing so, we can realize an annual savings of $207,000. Here's how. When we had an in-person sale, the previous auctioneer received $500 for a tax sale and $2,000 for mortgage foreclosure sale, which is a total of $4,000 a month. In addition, the office paid for event lunches for staff at $650 per event, which adds up to $3,200 a month. Also, the monthly rent for the First District Plaza to host the sheriff sale was $10,000, like $2,000 per sale, basically. Taking this into consideration, we are now saving about $17,250 a month by switching to virtual sales. There will be no cost, and let me repeat, there will be no cost to the city. All expenses will be covered by the 1.5 buyer's premium that will be paid by the winning bidder to bid for assets. Switching to online environment also allows other benefits, including eliminating the possibility of favoritism, intimidation, human error, and other issues that have been raised about the sheriff's sale in the past. Matter of fact, we had people who are business owners in this city that actually wanted to come to the sheriff's sales because they were not able to leave their business during business hours. They weren't able to participate. Now we're getting letters that's saying thank you, because now they will be able to participate. There are small businesses that have lots right next to their building. And basically, they're like, yes, because I've been wanting to buy this lot and expand my business here in the city. The bid for asset model just allows for cost savings for the department by opening up the bidding to all interest parties. There is a much greater likelihood that there will be overage monies that will return to the homeowners via our HART program. That's Homeowners Asset Recovery Team unit. We know this is a major change for all involved in the sheriff's sales. We want your input in this transparent, ongoing process, and we would like to hear your input on how this transaction can be even more impactful for the city, homeowners, bidders, and residents. And I will turn it back over to Greg for any questions.
Thank you, Sheriff. So for the members of the press in attendance, I would like to say that there will be a question and answer period. You can submit your questions to me by email at greg.salisbury@phila.gov or in the chat section of the YouTube channel. Right now, I'm going to introduce the rest of the members of the team. First up is Jesse Loomis. He's the CEO of Bid for Assets, who will be running the virtual sheriff sales. Jesse?
Thank you, Greg, and good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Jesse Loomis, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the online auction website bidforassets.com. On behalf of my team, we're honored to have been selected as the online auction vendor to transition Philadelphia's sheriff sales online. Bid for Assets' role will be to manage the entire auction process, from collecting deposits and sales proceeds to conducting the auctions, collecting vesting or titling information for the deeds, and providing support to the sheriff's office and live customer service via phone and email to bidders and attorneys who have questions along the way. Other nearby Pennsylvania counties who have taken this process online have seen dramatically increased sales, which generates more revenues to support county services, less REOs sitting vacant in the community, an easier process for bidders and attorneys, and much greater excess proceeds to support the previous owners of the properties. Our first April auctions are nearly here, and many bidders have already started using the Bid for Assets platform. There are 3 key steps a bidder needs to complete in order to bid on the April auctions. Number 1, they have to go to bidforassets.com and register a free account. Number 2, go to bidforassets.com/Philadelphia to review property lists, and when a bidder finds a particular auction you'd like to participate in, follow the instructions to fund a deposit, which allows you to bid on all of the properties on a particular sale date. Number 3, log on to Bid for Assets during the times that the auction is open for bidding on the sale date to place your bids. These auctions will typically run from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., but please review the auctions you're interested in to verify the start and close time. As the sheriff mentioned, it used to be a large time commitment to attend these auctions. Now this is something someone can take 2 minutes away from their work, log on, place their bids, and the system will bid up to their proxy on their behalf. If for now you're simply interested in watching the auction unfold, you're free to do so on bidforassets.com. You don't need even to be registered or logged in to watch the bidding and to see what properties are selling for. I hope you'll tune in for our 1 p.m. town hall, where I'll run you through the process of participating in Philadelphia's online sheriff sales on Bid for Assets. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you, Jesse. Next, we will be introducing Melissa Simpson. She is the Deputy Director of Real Estate Operations for the office. She'll also be speaking for Curtis Douglas, the Undersheriff for the office, who is currently indisposed. Melissa?
Good morning. I'm Melissa Simpson, the Deputy Director of the Real Estate Division for the Philadelphia Sheriff's Office. I have been working at the Sheriff's Office in the Real Estate Division for about 7 years. I assist the Director of Real Estate in all aspects of the department, including but not limited to training and daily operations. Due to the leadership, dedication, and foresight of Sheriff Bilal, we are restarting our sheriff sales on a virtual platform through Bid for Assets. Our team has worked tirelessly to create a virtual sheriff sale that is as close to our live sales as possible, while also ensuring that the Pennsylvania rules of civil procedure were followed. With virtual sales, my role includes oversight of the auction process from beginning to end. On behalf of the Undersheriff, I would like to mention some conditions of the sheriff sale. And our conditions can be found on our website as well as on the Bid for Assets website. Many of these conditions are the same as they were for in-person sales, but some important things to note about our sheriff sales are as follows. All bidders must be 18 years of age or older to bid on any property offered for sale. All properties are sold as is, with no expressed or implied warranties or guarantees whatsoever. The Sheriff's Office and Bid for Assets shall not be liable as a result of any cause whatsoever for any loss or damage to the property sold. It is the responsibility of the bidder to do their due diligence and investigate any and all liens, encumbrances, and/or mortgages against the property that may not be satisfied by the post-sale schedule of distribution. This includes state priority claims against any property. The sheriff will file a schedule of distribution with the Prothonotari's office 30 days from the date of the sale. Distribution will be made in accordance to the schedule unless exceptions are filed within 10 days of that filing with the Prothonotari's office. Any unused proceeds shall be paid to the homeowner or homeowners at the time of sale. The sheriff will not acknowledge a deed poll to any individual or entity using an unregistered fictitious name. An assignment of bid is allowed, but it requires a signed, notarized assignment of bid form to be submitted to the sheriff's office, along with any other required sale documentation. The winning bidder of a tax sale must be tax compliant. They must obtain a tax compliance certificate from the Department of Revenue. If the winning bidder assigns the property, then a certificate of compliance is required from both the winning bidder and the assignee. The right of redemption still applies for all tax sales. The right of redemption allows the property owner at the time of sale a 9-month period from the date of the sheriff's deed poll acknowledgement to file a petition to redeem the property. Also, please keep in mind that if you are a successful bidder, you are not the official new owner of the property until the sheriff's deed poll has been issued. If the property is occupied, once the deed has been recorded, the new owner must start a judicial procedure for ejectment to have the occupant removed. If any of the conditions of sale are violated by the successful bidder, it may result in the forfeiture of the property and the 10% deposit paid for the property. It is the priority of the Real Estate Division to make this transition as seamless as possible while continuing to follow the Pennsylvania rules of civil procedure. We have made improvements to our process over the years, and with the change to virtual sales, we hope to improve even more. The Real Estate Division will remain responsible for paying out municipal costs, dispersing all funds for payment, as well as preparing the deeds. We look forward to continuing our service to the City of Philadelphia. Thank you. Greg?
Thank you so much, Melissa. Now we're going to open up for the question and answer session. First, we have a series of questions from Mike from the Philadelphia Tribune. His first question is, how much will bid for assets be paid to conduct the sales? Jesse, I believe that's one for you.
Certainly. So the way our fee arrangement works for these sales is when third-party sales are reached, Bid for Assets charges a buyer's premium directly. The buyer pays a buyer's premium directly to Bid for Assets. That fee is 1.5% on mortgage foreclosures and 10% on tax foreclosures. So if, for example, we were to sell a tax foreclosed vacant lot for $2,000, we collect $2,000 plus a $200 buyer's premium, retain the buyer's premium, and send 100% of the sale price onto the Philadelphia Sheriff's Office. There'll be no fees if a third-party sale is not reached, if it goes to the plaintiff, if auctions are pulled. Bid for Assets will pay for all marketing, IT development. So as the sheriff mentioned, there will never be a cost to the county or the taxpayers.
Okay. Next question is also from Mike at the Philadelphia Tribune. He wants to know how many foreclosures the sheriff's office currently has ready, considering that a sale hasn't occurred in so long. Sheriff?
Well, initially, and working with the courts, we started off with about 600 and something, but because we are still in pandemic, crisis, and emergency situation, and working with the courts on this, the only properties going up for sale on April the 6th would be vacant properties. So we actually went from 600 and something from the backlog to basically 24. And that's the same thing to deal with the lots. They are vacant, and they're not home occupied, and they're not homeowners who are backing their taxes. They're only going for vacant lots because we are still in emergency and pandemic mode.
And Sheriff, when was the last time that there was an in-person sheriff sale?
I think March, or was it January, February probably was the last time that there was an in-person sale.
February 2020.
Yep.
Oh. Next, this is a question for Melissa. This is from Fatima. When purchasing a tax delinquent home, will the previous owner's tax liens automatically be removed, or will the new owners have to pay off the previous owner's liens?
So with a sheriff sale, the taxes on the property are removed with the sheriff sale. However, as I stated, there are some state priority taxes that may still be owed once you purchase the property. So you need to do your research to see if there are any other liens out there. But any city taxes that are owed on any sheriff sale property, they will be paid, or if they are not able to completely be funded, they will be removed due to the sheriff sale.
Okay. Next, this is a question for Jesse from Lisa, who wants to know, are the deposits refundable?
Yes. So if the bidder doesn't win anything, they have either the option to have their deposit refunded to them or to roll it into the next auction that will occur of that type, the next mortgage foreclosure or the next tax foreclosure. If they win something, it becomes non-refundable and goes to the sheriff's office and will be applied towards the balance due.
Thank you, Jesse. Next, we've got some follow-up questions from Mike at the Philadelphia Tribune. He wants to know, how much funding does the sheriff's office receive from a foreclosure sale, and what effect did the lack of the sales have on the budget for the current fiscal year?
Wow. I think that might be answered by Melissa as how much funding that it says, and has it impacted the city? Basically, anything that shut down the city that could not go forward as part of a tax base and probably cost the city some money. But as far as how much money we see from the funding, Melissa, do you have that information?
I do not currently have that information.
We will
But
get,
that is something that we will look into.
yeah, we will look into that one to give you the actual amount of funds that is received.
So Mike, we will get back to you on that with answers to both those questions. And that wraps it up for the question and answer session. Sheriff, I'd like to turn it back over to you for closing remarks.
First of all, thank you for tuning into this press conference on the rolling out of the sale going virtual. What our main objective was, one, keep people safe in the city. There was not a big enough venue to be able to hold the sale. And so in this emergency status, we had to think out of the box as to once it opens back up and the courts say you must put these properties for sale, then we had to think about how. And so virtual became an option to us. Just know we still care about the people in this city. And for homeowners and working with the courts, especially while we're not fully open, that's why the list went from 600 and something down to 24. Because during the pandemic, we too do not want to see anybody out on the streets. And if they have to go through this process while in the pandemic, losing of their job, stop them from being able to pay their bills, the one thing they shouldn't worry about in this pandemic is somebody knocking on their door saying, "We come to take you home." We are trying our best to streamline all of that to make sure that doesn't happen. But in the meantime, if you have lost your job and you can't pay bills and this is a possibility for you, then there are a whole bunch of programs that you need to start looking into right now so that you can save your home during this crisis of loss of income and your inability to pay those bills on those properties. Please look us up, call our constituent services, reach out to community legal services, reach out to your council people, because there are programs that can help you save your home so that you don't want to go through this process. Nobody wants to go to sheriff's sale. But as the arm of the courts, we are mandated by court order for these properties to go up. But we are doing our best to minimize homeowners who are in their homes during this pandemic. So from now on, we wish that everybody would go on at 1 o'clock so that you can see the process of virtual. You will watch it step by step on how to buy properties virtually. And if you're never, and that's the information I'm getting now, if you've never been able to go to a sheriff's sale, this is your opportunity to be at a sheriff's sale, where that if you want to purchase something in the city, which is everything is geared towards you doing so, you will find out just how to do it step by step. I thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to working with all our partners in this city to make this an easy transaction, and we will be as helpful as we possibly can here, and we will make adjustments when we need to. Thank you, and have a good day.